G'day, it's Pete here, and today we're going to dive into one of the most memorable moments in bridge history. It's a single hand that not only helped swing the 1981 Bermuda Bowl final, but also helped change the scoring rules forever. If you've ever wondered why you go for 800 so much, this is part of the reason why. All right, so it's 1981. It's the Bermuda Bowl finals, the World Championship of Bridge. This is the highest level that you can actually get to. Pakistan is facing off against USA in one of the most intense bridge battles there's been. There were some major events that came out of this World Championship. For instance, Bobby Levin became the youngest ever bridge world champion at just 23 years old. This was a record that stood for 34 years. Also, Zia Mahmood led Pakistan to their first ever silver medal in a world championship. This was, I believe, their first time even in the Bermuda Bowl. They were expected maybe to come last, but they had a sensational event and made it all the way to the finals. This is a moment that helped cement Zia Mahmood as one of the legends of our game and put him in bridge history forever. But while these may be the milestones that people remember this Bermuda Bowl for, there is one hand in particular that stands out. And that's a hand that shook the bridge world and caused the rules to change forever. And that hand belongs to Jeff Meckstroth. So let's take a look at this hand. So at the first table, what happened here was Solidar opened 2 clubs strong. Zia came in and bid 2 diamonds, and Arnold here bid 2 spades, but showed an ace and a king. Here, West raised diamonds with just 2, and Solidar bid 4 clubs natural, 4 hearts natural. 4 spades here was meant as a Q bid. It kind of looks a little bit ambiguous, but they still managed to persevere through it. 5 diamonds was a Q bid. He agreed that hearts were trumps, and Arnold raised to 6 hearts. And at this stage, Solidar realized that partner doesn't actually have any clubs, so we can trump those out. And if he's got the ace of diamonds and king jack to 5 hearts, there aren't any losers on this hand. So he bid 7 hearts in a 5-2 fit. Can you even remember the last time that you bid a Grand Slam, let alone bidding a Grand Slam without 8 trumps? Anyway, the play to this hand was relatively straightforward. 7 hearts was a great contract. They got the King of Diamonds lead, which was won by the ace, and 2 rounds of trumps were drawn. Now he proceeded to play ace of clubs, didn't cash the king of clubs, but just trumped a club high, and then drew trumps. They ended up being 3-3, but if they were 4-2, that was still going to be fine. So he made 7 hearts, getting a score of 22-10. Now, at the other table, the auction proceeded pretty similar. So 2 clubs was open, but this was an ACOL 2 in clubs. This was it showed clubs here, and South bid 2 hearts. They repeated clubs, and South has this awkward rebid, and they chose to repeat 3 hearts, which allowed Munir to raise hearts, and now Fazli was firmly in control. Asked for aces, found out that they had 3. 6 diamonds was asking about the queen of trumps, and they also bid 7 hearts, which when this was on Viewgraph got a round of applause. The 5-2 fit being bid to Grand Slam at both tables. But while all that was happening, Jeff Meckstroth was a little bit forgotten here. But he shouldn't have been, because he came back in with 7 spades on this hand. 5 spades to the jack. Could you imagine not bidding at all, neither you or your partner, all the way till the opponents get to Grand Slam, and now you come in with this 5 spades to the jack? So for here, Jeff Meckstroth saw an opportunity. He had 5 spades to the jack. He had a weak hand. Most players would just pass here. But what he knew is that if he sacrificed in spades, and even if he went down heavily, he could still earn points, because if he went down 11 tricks, that would have only scored minus 2,100. And he decided to make one of the gutsiest bids in bridge history and bid 7 spades. In Jeff's own words, he said, "I've never been more nervous making a bid in my life. In 1981, in the Bermuda Bowl finals, I had Jack fifth in spades at favorable vulnerability. They'd rolled into 7 hearts, but when it came round to me, I computed that down 11 is minus 2100. I thought that I could do better, and after a long huddle, I bid 7 spades." So how did 7 spades go? So here in the play, the ace of clubs was led, and then king of clubs was continued, and then they switched to ace of hearts and another heart, which got overtaken. And now the jack of hearts got played, and Munir threw the 9 of diamonds, which opened up a possibility for the defense to go slightly awry. They could have actually, the best defense here is to cash the ace king of spades. But when he pitched the 9 of diamonds, what this allowed was it allowed them to try and get a diamond ruff, but this was with a natural trump trick. So it went ace of diamonds, and they ruffed a diamond, and now you can't draw both of dummies trumps. So when it went ace of spades, now when it went a club, they ruffed in with the 10 of spades, and here South gets the queen of spades, but no more. And they get out for down 9. And this was minus 1700, which meant that the USA picked up 11 imps. And this was the first hand that gave the Americans the lead in the Bermuda Bowl final. Up till then, Pakistan had been leading. USA went on to win comfortably in this Bermuda Bowl. But the significance of this hand didn't actually end there. The impact of Meckstroth's bold sacrifice here basically reverberated throughout the bridge world. Edgar Kaplan, who was commentating on the view graph at the time, was reportedly disgusted by how low the penalty was for such a huge sacrifice. So at the time, non-vulnerable doubled under tricks were just penalized at 200 points after the first trick. So it went minus 300, 500, 700, 900, etc., which allowed Meckstroth to get away with, even if you went down 11, which would be minus 2100, but here down 9 was just 1700 and that valuable 11 imps. So by 1987, that actually changed the rules, and the penalty for the subsequent under tricks from the 4th one down actually increased from 200 to 300. So if you go down 4 not vulnerable, that's right, you get your minus 800 there. And if the same hand played today, if you went down 9, you would actually be minus 2300, which is worse than letting them make the Grand Slam. So this change has had a lasting impact on the game of bridge. It made sacrifices more costly and ensured that players couldn't get away with those extreme sacrifices without facing severe penalties. So in short, this hand has changed how bridge players think about making their really bold sacrifices, and it makes you go for minus 800 more. So this hand not only shifted the course of the 1981 Bermuda Bowl, putting the USA in the lead for the first time of that final, it left a permanent mark on the rules of our game. So next time you think about making a bold sacrifice at the table, remember Jeff Meckstroth's 7 spade bid and the rule change that followed. And it's also the reason why you keep going for minus 800. Now, I loved finding out about this video and all the history under this, but I have to give a special thanks to Paul Lavings. He was actually at this same Bermuda Bowl representing Australia. And here he is in the same magazine, the record of this 1981 Bermuda Bowl, where you can find out all the details of this. But he also runs the Bridge Gear store, so bridgegear.com. So be sure to check that out for all of your bridge needs. And if you liked this video, please subscribe. It's completely free to do on YouTube, and it helps me out. And leave a comment. Let me know what's your boldest bid that you've ever made.